so grateful to be on here and be able to share this with you guys. I am going to share my screen, and for those that were going to the 90-day game plan, I was coming to Sydney, but it all got cancelled, which I totally respect and understand as to why that happened. And I'm going to share with you tonight about connecting and about sharing Isagenix and how I do that. And this was going to be my piece at the 90-day game plan, basically. But I just want to share a little bit about myself, I guess. So I started for the products back in May 2014. I don't even know if I've got any photos from back then because I've deleted so many. But I was a raving fan of the Isagenix products for over 2 years. I came in for the products. I needed to lose some weight, and my good girlfriend, who's actually Mary's cousin, introduced me to Isagenix. I had no interest at all to build this business. She was constantly asking me to share with people. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. I've got a really good paying job. I work a bazillion hours. I'm happy where I'm at. And people were coming to me asking me what I was doing. And I was like, here, this is Jess's number. Call her, connecting her with all these people. And then she was enrolling them and looking after them. And I didn't know anything else. Then in August 2016, so over 2 years later, I had my daughter. And I was sitting on the couch breastfeeding her, and I saw Jess put a post up because she had a daughter a week after me. And she was talking about how she was sitting on the couch breastfeeding her daughter. She was getting paid. And then that was like my light bulb moment. It was like, wow, what the hell have I been doing for the last 2 years? She was trying to tell me, but I just didn't want to hear it. I wasn't interested. So I just want to share that with you guys, because don't ever underestimate and don't ever give up hope on people. Don't pressure people, but just know that if this is for some people that you have in your business already, their light bulb moment will come. And that could be now with everything that's happening in the industry. Who knows, right? But I wasn't a fast runner. I was a slow runner, that's for sure. It took me over 2 years to get to executive, almost 3 years to hit 3-star. And I'm not even going to watch the chat, but I can see you're writing in there, Mary. But that was okay. For me, this was my pace. I had a baby at home. So I had no idea what network marketing even was when I started sharing this. I was just like, I love the products. People need to use them. So I just started running. And to start with, I was I think they call it a sponsor monster or something like that. That's what I was at the start, because I had no idea what to do and what I was doing. And then obviously with the coaching and the guidance from Mary, so I reached up to my upline. I've been able to learn the skills to be able to get to executive, to be able to get to 3-star, to be able to create more consultants, create more managers, and start to run with people now that want this and help them get to where I've got to, because I know how amazing it is once you get to executive. But that's a little bit about me. Mary, let me know if there's something in the chat that I need to answer, please. So real life connections, anytime, anywhere, right? So basically how I do it is I seek out new places and events, both online and offline, to meet new people. And I know this is going to be really, really hard right now because we're social distancing. We're not leaving our house. We're not going out to the park, the kindy, sports, gym, hairdressers, all of that kind of stuff. But there is going to be a time, and it is going to be hopefully soon, where this is going to blow over. So just know that it might not be, what I'm going to talk about tonight might not be for you right now in this instant, or even the next month, but over time to come, when we start getting out of the house again, people are going to crave that connection and that community and seeing people face to face more than ever. So know that. And how I connect with people and meet people is at the park. Like, I only became red about 8 months ago, and the amount of kids that come up to me and be like, oh my God, I love your hair. And then their mum will start talking to me, like just stuff like that. And it's just chatting to people, having a solid conversation at kids sports, or at your own sports, your hairdresser. So I kind of rotate through hairdressers every couple of months to meet new people, right? My eyelash lady at the moment, when I went to her and I told her what I did, she said, oh yeah, I've had lots of Isagenix consultants. They try and sell it to me all the time. And to me, I was like, interesting. She hasn't once signed up, and I don't pressure her on it, but I've got her on Facebook now, and she's seeing my feed, and I know she wants to lose weight. She's told me, but she's also told me that she's not interested. So I'm just kind of letting her see, right? So parties, weddings, expos and markets, In the early days and even up until now, I still do markets. I love it. And I just moved to the Sunshine Coast from a small mining town. And I don't know where everyone on here lives and what your network's like or your area is like, but in the town, there's probably about 8,000 people. And it was amazing because I was connecting with people that I didn't necessarily know. But once I connected with them on Facebook, we had all these mutual friends in common. So all of a sudden, there's this trust there because we've got those mutual friends in common, and then I can start building on that with them. I put Bunnings because we all go to Bunnings, right? And in December last year, when we moved here, we kept running into this couple at Bunnings, and they just started talking to us. They're like, oh, you must have just moved into a new house because of the stuff we had in our trolley. And we hit it off instantly. We've been to their son's birthday party. This was just 3 months ago. And now my husband's gym junkie buddies with her husband and just things like that. So don't, like, when you get out of the house and you go to places, meet people. Letterbox drops. I have one of my, a personal trainer who lived at the back of my house, and she had a big sign up out the front of her house. She had a home studio. And I did a letterbox drop to the area, and on her sign thing out the front, her name was on there. So on hers, I actually wrote, "Hey Trish, my name's Kayla. I live behind you. I would love to chat to you a little bit more about what this is about." And then within 2 months, she started, and she absolutely loves the products. This was 2 years ago. She's starting to share and become more of a builder. Community pages, mutual friends on social media, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And I don't say no. If I get invited to things, as long as it's within my capacity, I don't say no to people, right? The big thing to remember is to ask questions and be interested. Try and make a new friend. Don't try and get an Isagenix sale, because that's not what this is about. And then I add the people to my list, and it's in your 90-day action plan if you're following that. But how to create real connections. So make sure you smile and be inviting to people, right? So if you're in a bad mood, it's probably not a good day for you to be trying to meet people and be happy about it. You need to be smile. You need to be inviting. You need to be there so that people actually feel your energy and they attract to it and they want to talk to you. Be you. Be authentic. Don't try and be anybody that you're not, because people will see right through that. Find common ground. And I absolutely love this one. You can do this face-to-face with people, or you can do it over Messenger. I just connected with somebody today, and every day what I do is when it pops up on my my news feed of people's birthdays, I immediately, when I have time throughout that day, go into Messenger and send them a voice message. Sometimes, depending who they are, I'll sing them happy birthday, or I'll just be like, happy birthday, hope you're having an amazing day and you're not working today and you get to have some wine later, and have that energy in my voice. And I sent that to this girl this morning. I haven't spoken to her for 3 years. She wrote back and she's like, thanks heaps, babe. Would love to catch up soon. And I was like, oh my God, where are you living now? And she said, Launton. I was like, no way. My in-laws live there. So I'm like, well, next time I come there, obviously when the craziness dies down, let's catch up. So things like that, find common ground with people. Speak the truth. Be real. Don't have an agenda. Like I said, don't try and sell Isagenix to anybody. Just be interested, not interesting. Match energy for energy, and it's not about you, it's about them. So just become like the best listener that you know, right? Because I know for me, and I'm a big talker, and I talk and talk and talk and talk. So it's taken me a long time to really become a better listener. Pay a compliment to people. That always really sparks conversation with people. If you see somebody and you're at the shops, or maybe on Facebook now, or social media, because we're not out and about as much, and you see that they've had their hair done, it looks amazing, drop them a message, not on their Facebook, in Messenger. Be like, oh my God, babe, saw your hair, it looks amazing. Or, you know, just give them a really nice compliment, because it's going to start that conversation. What you ask them, they'll ask you. So if you ask somebody, what do you do? They're going to tell you, and then they're going to say, what do you do? Or if you say, do you have kids? And they answer, they're going to say, do you have kids? So just know that whatever you ask them, they're going to ask you back. And people want to be heard. Like I said, become the best listener that you know. So questions to ask. And this is something that I took off Morgan Nelson. He goes by the frog. So the family, or where are you from? So these are just a couple of different tips when you're talking to people. What are things that they like to do for fun, their recreation? What do they do for work? What kind of goals have they got? Finding that common ground is really where it's at. And that's where you start vibing with people. and listen and validate. This really deepens the trust and likability. We all know that every connection is an opportunity to build your relationship, and people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So we're in the industry of building relationships with people, becoming really best friends with people so they know us, they like us, and they trust us. So I've already touched on some of this stuff, but be genuine in your connection and add mass value to people's lives. Don't, just if you've got something that you think is going to add a value to other people's lives and it's working for you, and you can see that this could work for somebody else, whether it's a mum or somebody that's working out heaps in the gym, then add that value and tell them. Get into quality conversations with people. I feel like this is kind of already going over what I've spoken about. The law of reciprocation. One thing here that I really want to touch on though is online. When you're on social media, and this is something that I've only learnt recently, you should follow these 3 rules. So whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, the 3 rules are: when you are scrolling through, you should either, if you come across somebody and you're like, oh my God, this person is mega draining, I never want them in my business, I don't even want them in my life. If they're not family and you can, unfriend them. If it's somebody who you can't unfriend, maybe an auntie, but still mega draining, and you want to unfollow, or add a comment and send the person a message. So that's 3 things. If there's, people coming up, don't just scroll like, scroll love, scroll angry face, whatever. Make sure that you're making that interaction, really connecting with people, because the more that you are having that interaction on Facebook and then in Messenger, then the more that you're going to come up in their newsfeed as well. So I've just got a few examples here of how I connect online. And this is one with current friends, right? So like I said, if you come across somebody's a post and they've put something really funny up, hey Zara, you just popped up on my Facebook scroll, that post was hilarious, or your hair looks amazing, or something, your kids are so cute. So I just wanted to drop by and say, hi, hope you're having a fantastic week. How have you been? That's basically it. So simple, so easy. And it's starting the conversation with them. Or you could just add something in the end, like, how crazy is everything going in the world right now? How are you going? How are you going with everything that's happening in the world right now? Connecting online with new people. So this is something that I love to do quite often. And what I do is I will go into suggested friends and I'll have a look through there. If they are suggested friends with somebody in Isagenix in my team already, I don't add them. But if they're not, if they're just friends of friends, I will send them this. Basically, hi Zara, how are you? You've literally come up on my suggested friends list for weeks, so I figured Facebook was never going to give up. You look familiar. Have we met before? Or you can put your own spin on it. It doesn't have to be exactly this, but you're basically telling them that they're in your suggested friends list. They keep coming up. Why don't we connect? Why don't we be friends? You could have a look through their Facebook Facebook first, or their Instagram. I talk about Facebook a lot because I don't really use Instagram. Look through their Facebook first, see what the things are that they like. If you find common ground there with what they're posting, you could put it in there, put it in the message thread. Usually I will get about a 50% success rate with this. So some days if I'm like, I need to start filling my funnel, I need some new connections, I will just literally go through and maybe do 10 at a time. Then I will start writing back to those people. But that's how I basically connect with new friends online. And I love doing it that way because I feel like I'm always adding to my funnel then. And sales isn't about selling anymore. Yes, we are in the business of selling, but it's more about building trust and educating people on the products and what they actually do, and building on that relationship with them so that they feel open enough to come to you and ask you what it is that you're doing, or to come to you and say, this is how I'm actually feeling. I hope you guys are getting something from this. So sharing Isagenix. I want to share with you guys how I share Isagenix. And what I'm talking about here and tonight, if what you're doing is working for you, then stick with it. If you want to try something different, then test it and measure it and see if this works for you. It might not work for you, but it may. It works for me. This is how I've created 5 consultants. So damn close. And I didn't tell you, but I've got 3 pirates. I'm like, come on. So how to share your story, right? So we can do this online. We can do it in coffee catch-ups. We can do it in info sessions and webinars. Most likely these days we're going to be doing info sessions and webinars, and we have some amazing people in this team that are really pumping out lots of info sessions. So make sure that you're utilizing them as much as you can. And if you can, create your own, because your network are going to want to hear from you, and they're going to want to hear from people that you've possibly already coached before to have the results that they want. But know that when you're sharing your story with people, be accurate and be truthful. Don't furphy it around. Don't make false claims or anything like that that it has done for you that it hasn't actually done. Give reasonable expectations. Don't promise the world and then obviously under-deliver to people. Speak from the heart about what these products have personally done for you, because that is what's really going to build that trust with other people. And focus on the before, because that's where they relate. If you were overweight before, or if you were feeling really uncomfortable in your jeans before, post about that, because there's so many people that, you know, we already know this, that need these products and that are feeling uncomfortable in their body, but that it might not be their time right now. But when they see that post and it relates to them and they're like, oh God, that's how I feel. It might not be their time right now, but when it is, and they feel like that way again, you're going to be the person that comes to mind that they reach out to. So this is your business, right? And you need to embrace your creativity. And I was not creative at all before I started this, and I'm still not. I'm winging it, and I don't care. I'm doing it my way. I'm not going to follow anybody else's way, because what I'm doing works for me, and you have to do what works for you. If you following other people's footsteps and it doesn't feel true to you, people are going to know that. So just be you, right? And this is how I share on my stories and on my posts. And I just wanted to give you some examples, because when I'm sharing with people, I love to share people's before and afters of people that I've actually met, because it validates that you actually know this person. You're not just getting the picture off the Isabody page and putting it up and putting their words for words. You actually know these people, right? So, and I always write my gorgeous friend, or my good friend, or Rachel, I had the pleasure of meeting on the weekend, and like talking about how you actually know these people to validate the actual story behind it. And it's the same. So make sure, if you're going to an Isagenix event, and I know we've just had celebration and everything's kind of been put on hold, if you're doing a Zoom with them, whatever, take a picture of it, take a screenshot of it, and use that with the before and after. And even if you haven't actually physically met the person, or you may have met them, but you don't have a photo with them, you can still talk about this amazing girl that I met at celebration, or this amazing girl that I met at blah, 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 this amazing man, whatever it is. But just make sure that you're putting in there that kind of how you know the person, because it helps to validate the story that you do actually know them. And I love using that kind of stuff on my stories as well. So I do use the before and afters. I try to do maybe one a week. And then I also always on my stories try and do one a day, just constantly pumping, because if I'm interacting with people on Messenger and on Facebook, I can see that they're looking at my stories. Standing out from the crowd. So making sure that your message is tailored and more unique, and know who you help. If you help men, women, mums, dads, young people, old people, everybody, that's cool. But if you have an avatar and that's the person that you help, then make sure that that's the person that you're talking to all the time. I help everybody, but a lot of mums and a lot of women gravitate to me because that's what I share about more. But then I do also help men as well. So know what problems it is that you help people solve, and making sure that when you're talking to people, or when you're on your stories or on your posts, that you're talking about those problems, whether it's weight loss, whether it's gains in the gym, whether it's healthy aging, and just be specific and targeted. The more targeted, the better. But that doesn't mean to say if somebody reaches out to you, you don't say no, that you're not going to help them, right? So this is how I do my conversations with people, basically. And you cannot share the story until you know what they want. And I'm really, really big on this. I have a lot of people that will message me and ask me for prices, and I will not give it to them until I can get them on the phone. And it's taken me a long time to actually get to that point, but I felt like that I've had to, because if you instantly give somebody the prices, they'll 9 times out of 10, they will run because they don't understand it. They don't know what they're actually getting. So if I get loves or likes or people commenting on my posts, I send them a message. So, hey Mary, thank you for the love on my recent post or story, depending what it was. How amazing are Kelly's results? Insert what the post story was about. How amazing are Kelly's results with her weight loss or with her energy being a busy mum? Would you be open to learning more about the system that we both use? So you're asking for permission. Would they be interested in hearing more, or were they just basically just loving on it because they were flicking through and just loving on everybody's stuff, right? This is my other one that I use. So if somebody does reach out to me, or if I'm getting put into three-way messages with my team, this is the message that I use. And I have these messages saved in a bazillion types of notes in my notes. And I always tailor it for the person, but it's there as a template, I guess, as a basis as to what I use. So, hey, Mary, I'm so glad you reached out. Absolutely, I can send you more info. I honestly don't know if this will be for you, but if it is, what would you want to improve with your health right now? So I always send that because I want to know what their goals are. I'm not going to give them anything until I know what their goals are, because I want to get a deeper understanding of the goals before I can offer them a solution. And only once I know what they want can I show them that solution. And there's a few different ways that you can show people solutions, right? And they're all there for you. We're really big on doing the webinars and the info sessions at the moment. So utilize those as much as you can. But I share a tool all the time. Usually my go-tos are the Mary Evans Just Cleanse, or the, I think it's How Isagenix Works, the one with Danny Catania. Then I will send them a message. And I'm about to show you my step-by-step of how I actually do it. But then my follow-up message to them, usually within 24 hours, depending when they said they can watch it. What did you love most about what you saw in the movie? I don't ask them, did they watch the movie? What did you love most about what you saw in the movie? So they're either going to come back and say, I love that it shakes because it's, so convenient for my busy life, or I love that it helps to get rid of toxins out of the body, that kind of stuff. Then I get them on the phone. So once I know what their goal is, once I know that they've seen a tool, and once I know what it is that they've loved most about what they've actually seen, then I get them on the phone. So this is just an example of one that I've done recently, and I helped Sarah get to consultant, and she put a post up. And I always encourage my new customers to do that. She was at 30 days. She put a post up. She had a whole heap of people wanting to know more. And she just started this three-way message. And I learned a lot from Mary and Jacob's call last week, especially about the validating. So obviously that's something that I'm really going to use now. So I'd be telling Sarah to make sure she puts in there that I've been coaching her to get her results. So it kind of validates who I am in the whole picture. But you can see, she said, hey, Nicole, this is Kayla. She's helped, blah, 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 blah. And I've written, absolutely nice to meet you. I can send more info. I honestly don't know if this will be for you, but if it is, what would you like to achieve with your health? And she said, lose weight. Amazing. But what would your ultimate weight loss goal be? Because lose weight could be, oh, I just want to lose 2 kilos. I want to lose 59 kilos. You don't know. You really need to know before you send that tool. So even if she didn't say 15 kilos and she came back and said, oh, just a few kilos, I'll be like, well, get a little bit more specific with me. How much? Because I want to know, right? So then I'm like, amazing. I've coached so many women to achieve that and beyond. I'm not talking about timeframes or anything. I'm just talking that I have helped people do that. I'd love you to watch this video. And then I sent a follow-up message the next day. What did you like most about what you've seen in the video? She said, sorry, I haven't watched it, blah, 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 blah. Watched it straight away. Looks great. I guess the $1 million question now, how much is it for 30 days? Me, haha, glad you got to check it out. Absolutely, we have different packs to suit different budgets. Have you got time to have a chat and I can go through it with you? In about half hour, we sorted out a time that was convenient, 4:15. Sure, sounds good. Got on the phone with her. Sarah couldn't get on the phone, so it doesn't matter. I'm still doing it. I've already started that connection with her. I went through the different packs and the different prices with her over the phone. I'll never do that in message with people. It has to be over the phone. And straight away, she signed up on a premium pack. So you can see, like, because when you get them on the phone and then you can actually share your story with them, what you've done, why you still use the products, why I'm still using these products almost 6 years later. She could hear the excitement in my voice. She could see Sarah's physical results. And then, like, you have to make sure that you get people's goals before you get them on the phone so you can dig deeper into that. So reaching out to your warm market. So your direct warm market, right? Hi, Zara. I'm not sure if you've been following my journey on Facebook. So this is for your team. So it could be for people that are on the line tonight. If you're still new to Isagenix, or if you've got people that want to start sharing it and they're sending messages out. Hey, Zara, I'm not sure if you've been following my journey on Facebook. I've lost some stubborn weight and have so much more energy. Just wondering if you know anyone who is looking for a detox, weight loss, or more energy. I'd love to help them feel and look as good as I do. Hope you are well and life is great. We need to catch up soon. So obviously this is a very broad message, and you have to tailor it for the person, or you have to make sure that they're tailoring it for them. And if it's somebody that they don't want to catch up with, or they live too far away to catch up with them, then you obviously wouldn't put that in there as well. But it says, just wondering if you know of anyone. So they're not directly asking that person. Usually 9 times out of 10, the person will come back and be like, yeah, me. Then you can start going backwards and forth. But you're giving them an out by saying, do you know of anyone? You're not asking them directly, right? So example 2, reaching out to someone you know needs this, and it's like, this is like a direct message. And this could be a friend of yours. It could be somebody that you've seen on Facebook commenting about or posting about how they feel really uncomfortable in their body, how they need changes, all of that kind of stuff. Hey, Zara, I'm about to sign up for a 16-week challenge because I want to improve, insert your health goal. I want to improve my overall health. I'm sick of feeling tired and having no energy, and really want to feel stronger and happier in my body. I thought of you because I know you're struggling with your weight, or I know you're struggling with your gains at the gym, or I know you're struggling with energy because of the kids, anything like that. Would you like to join me and we can do this together? So you're telling them why you thought of them. So you're making it more personable to that person, making them feel like it's not just a bulk message that you're sending out to everybody. Would you like to join me and we can do it together? So accountability buddies. This is one that I'm really loving at the moment, and that I'm going to start getting my team to be sharing with other people as they're entering into the 16-week challenge. This is my last slide, and I'm probably whizzing through it because I talk so quickly, and I hope that everybody's getting something out of this. Are you personalizing the invitation? I know when I first started this, I was like on a mission to just get everybody enrolled, right? I didn't care. And I was just sending out bulk messages. It wasn't personalized. It might have said, hey, Mary, but then the rest was all generic. But not anymore. That's not me anymore. And that's not how I coach people to do it either, because it's not authentic and people see straight through that. So make sure that if you know that somebody's having a hard time, then reach out to them. It doesn't mean that you have to be reaching out to them about Isagenix. Right now, everything that's happening in the world, there's a perfect, like, you could just reach out to somebody and say, hey, how are you doing with all this craziness in the world? Has your job been affected? You know, your kids still go to school? Just have a conversation with them and start getting into just building that trust with them again. And that is all. I think that is it. That is all I've got. But does anyone have any questions?
If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat, guys.
Or unmute yourself and talk to me so I don't feel like I'm talking to you.
Yeah, actually, unmute. That was epic.
I can't even see the chat.
Just
Actually, I got a question for you, Kayla. This is Sandra.
Hi.
So obviously you guys know that I've been hosting these daily webinars, and I've been sending out some invitations to them, but do you have any guidance on how to invite to these webinars, especially in a super sensitive time like right now? Because I'm used to talking about money, it's not a sensitive subject for me, but it is for all these people that are losing their jobs. So I want to be able to invite them onto these webinars. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm hosting a daily opportunity Zoom call, 12 p.m. Melbourne time. So I want to just be able to invite people to this authentically, but still being compassionate and not, you know, like so many people have lost their jobs right now. It's a pretty sensitive time. So yeah, if you have any feedback for that.
I guess my only thoughts around that is, and I'm about to do the same because I'm about to do some info sessions myself this week and I need to start inviting to them as well. But I think by giving the person, you know, this may or may not be for you because of this crazy time, like give them that opportunity for them to say, actually, it's not a good time for me right now.
Yeah.
Then if they do say that to you, you could always come back to and say, how is everything going with you? What's happening? Because then it might open up, and then just start the conversation with them. Because I think the deeper that you go, they could just be like, yeah, actually, well, no, I haven't lost my job. You know, I've still got to work because it's a, you know, depending on what their job is, but
warehouse or something.
Yeah. But right now it's just so stressful for the family because of everything that's happening in the supermarket with the, you know, the groceries and stuff. You just can't even, by the time we get to the shops, there's nothing there. Then you could be like, well, this could actually solve some of those solutions for you.
Yeah.
I think so. Digging deeper on it, not just send out the invite and be like, hey, I'm doing this webinar tomorrow night. Do you want to jump on? Just be a little bit more personable with it. And maybe even depending how well you know the person, have a look on their Facebook first, see where they're at. When was the last time they posted? Does it look like they're going through a lot of hardship at the moment? And talking to that, be like, look, I saw that post that you put up and it sounds like things are really stressful for you at the moment. I don't know if what I'm doing, I've got this information session happening tonight at this time. I don't know if it's for you, especially with everything that's happening right now. But if it is, I would love for you to jump on and listen in.
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly what I needed. Yeah, thank you.
It's okay. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get this right, but I'm going to try. I've got to send out my own invites, and that's how I'm going to do mine. Just be authentic, be you. Make sure you come from a place of having a heart and wanting to actually help people, not just enroll people for a double PIB, right? Because, and the thing is, just remember that we get a lot of no's in this business.
Yeah, of course.
People are either going to join you or you're not, or they're not. And it's not because of the coronavirus. And I saw a post that Jackson put out today, and people are going to say yes now because they need this. People are going to say no. But even if you asked them 6 months ago, they were going to say no anyway.
Yeah, totally.
Or they're going to use the coronavirus as an excuse instead of money, which they would have used as an excuse anyway.
Yeah.
For some people, it may be not an excuse, but a reason why, because they've lost their job because of coronavirus. And I think the biggest thing to remember is at this time, people are losing their job, and we can try to support them and offer them a solution with Isagenix. But remember, if they have a family, they have a mortgage, now is not the time to be handing on their door to be trying to get them to become a network marketer to share Isagenix with people, because they need to pay their bills. They need to pay their mortgage, and they need money now. So it might be that they have to, like, obviously, yes, we can help them with the solution of Isagenix, but we all know that it takes time to build the skills. You know, they might be starting on the 0 meter line, and we don't want to be promising them the world of earning $750 in the bonus pool next month when they're not going to get there, and they need to pay their mortgage and they need to put food on the table. So making sure that we're meeting people where they're at and not trying to push something on them that they're not ready for, or that right now it's not actually something that they can give to.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's where that's where we need to show our compassion so much right now. I think it's like, hey, I've got this opportunity. If you're interested, let me know. That's kind of the approach that I've been using. But a lot of people are like, man, how can you be sharing that opportunity when people are losing their jobs and they can't afford to put food on the table? I'm like, because this is an opportunity to put food on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, yeah, exactly what Mary said. And that's why we should be sharing it as well. But just making sure that we're coming from a place of compassion when we're posting about it as well, and not trying to rub it in people's faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think if you've got somebody that you're talking to and they are a little bit concerned about their job, perfect. I've got this side hustle at the moment, and this is why I'm not worried about if I lose my job, because I've got these. Would you be open to taking a look?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I think that's it. I've just had a look through the chat and no more questions other than, I think Erin wrote, how are you tailoring this with the coronavirus going on right now? But I think you've pretty much touched on that. So, but can I just say, guys, like, there is so much pain right now, and people's pain is actually heightened when they've got no plan, when they've got no options, when they're literally at the wall. At least this is an option. Like, so don't shy away from, if you genuinely feel like this could be something that helps someone, because this is your time to step up. Like, the world needs people who have solutions and resources at their disposal to share it. So please don't use the coronavirus as a justification to take a step back. This is a time to step forward. So
just on that, Mary, thanks for saying that, because if you guys haven't seen, Eric Worre was live this morning on his Facebook. There is an amazing video that he did about the power of network marketing right now. So if you guys haven't watched that, I strongly encourage you to watch it, because he's got some real big key takeaways for people, like how to communicate it in times like these, what language we can use. So if you guys haven't tuned into that yet, it was this morning. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching that. And I think coming out of this, a lot of people are going to have their eyes open a lot more to a side hustle, to an additional income into their family, because maybe they haven't thought about it before. Maybe they have never been worried about it, but this is worrying a lot of people. So just keep that in mind as well. And if anyone's got any other questions, reach out. If not, I hope you all have a fantastic night. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and I hope you got something from it.